What's going on, UCLA fans? Yeah, what a game! What a game! I'm filming this like a few hours after the game, actually, not right after it ends, because I was watching some other college football, the Bama LSU game, of course. But yeah, I didn't exactly see the first half live. I had to wait till I saw some tape of this game because I was at a college football game earlier today, and I had to head back home today for an event tomorrow or Sunday that's going on. So I saw the second half, and thanks to those of you in Bruinville who had a stream and whatnot for me. Thank you very much. Once again, I don't get verses, so thank you there. But as I said, what a game! The first half had once its high emotion. It had this big plays after big plays. UCLA drove down the field on their first possession, scored a touchdown, which was huge. The fact that it kind of gave them that confidence that they're in this game, because obviously at Stanford that didn't happen. Then, it was just some points going back and forth. There was that huge catch by Rosario, that long play. I got to give credit to the coaches, especially the coaches, because they made a great offensive game plan for this to adjust, and they looked at ASU's defense and they found some weaknesses. They ran the ball very well, and Kevin Prince, for the most part, was very efficient when he threw the ball. Yeah, he didn't make a big throw, to the exception of that Rosario throw, and he made the short throws when needed to, but there were a lot of nice catch and runs this game, which I was very happy to see. Once again, this is UCLA football that we've been expecting under Prince, is to have this game manager, smart games by Kevin Prince, and I'm just proud of this team for fighting through the adversity, fighting through tough times. I'll admit, we got a little lucky that Arizona State's kicker is a freshman and inconsistent, and especially the last play, of course. But even before, they missed a couple field goals early, and I got to give credit to the Bruins defense. I know they gave up the yards, and I know they could have easily lied down this game. Our defense had its troubles a lot, but they bended but didn't break. They allowed field goal attempts, and it's huge that we got the stops we needed to in the clutch. Third quarter, it was just kind of back and forth. There was that costly fumble late in the game that I think Arizona State was pretty aggressive toward the ball. I don't know what we could have done with these fumbles that happened in the game. I think it was, unfortunately, Jonathan Franklin went back to his old ways with that fumble, and Arizona State luckily was stopped, but it was just kind of some back and forth. And then in the fourth quarter, of course, Arizona State scores on a long drive, 90-something yard drive. The defense looks like they're out of gas. You think it's all over. And then Josh Smith fumbles the kickoff return. It hurts. They got to secure the ball better. Luckily, they did later. But Arizona State, I said before, aggressive toward the ball. They were tackling the arms, trying to knock it loose, and it worked. But UCLA forced a 3-and-out, and that was probably the biggest moment of the game when it comes to what decided the game was that stop, because they could have lied down. They could have let Arizona State score a touchdown on that possession. Game would have been a 12-point game, and the game would have been over pretty much. But it didn't happen that way. Of course, as we know, UCLA held their ground on a third 3-and-out, missed field goal, and we're back in this game. Huge. So we ran a perfect 5-minute drill, if you want to call it that. They realized, hey, we got to kill the clock. We got to score at the same time. They ran the ball so efficiently. It was unbelievably great. I'd see Derek Coleman. I wanted to see Derek Coleman more, and maybe it's because Franklin fumbled the ball and that benching happened, but Derek Coleman, I said before, teams cannot stop this guy. I'm not being a blind homer here. You could look at his stats and yards per carry. Derek Coleman's had good games for the most part against opponents, with the exception of Arizona, of course. That team wasn't motivated then, but Coleman ran the ball extremely well, and on that drive. And Prince, smart. Once again, there was that awful offensive pass interference. I thought that was a bad call for Faurier. There was like 2nd and 32, and then 3rd and 29, I think. But Prince came through with the throw that he needed to. It was short, but it was a nice catch and run. Nelson Rosario has been a great playmaker this game. Game ball, of course, probably goes to everyone for just really hanging in there and hanging tough. But especially Derek Coleman and the coaches. That's the main thing the ball will go to. Rosario came up with the big catch on 3rd and long. And UCLA ran the ball in. They waited a couple plays, which I didn't mind so much because you wanted to kill a few seconds. Arizona State calls their timeouts. We run the ball in. The pistol worked in perfection. They ran the ball efficiently and perfectly fine. I liked what I was seeing there. Still 49 seconds left, and Arizona State went down the field. That long stalling in reviews, that pissed me off. The refs pissed me off a lot this game, I thought. There were some no calls. There was some... thought there was a head-to-head, helmet-to-helmet contact. Uh, yeah, really bad officiating tonight, I thought. But I got it at the 30-yard line. Luckily, I knew the kicker missed 2 field goals already. And the third one, I mean, sure, if you were at the stadium, you knew that it wasn't good because it was short. But for my thing, it was like, uh-oh, hope he misses it. Couldn't believe it came down to... shouldn't have come down to that. This scoreboard doesn't show how hard UCLA fought this game and deserved this win. As bad as the defense was giving up yards, UCLA fought through the adversity. And with all the steps forward and steps backward, finally a close game went our way. It's huge for the school. Huge for Neuheisel especially. He needed this one. It wouldn't, if he lost, he wouldn't have lost as much, but for his job, he knows he needs wins now, and Dan Guerrero's had to have put faith in him. So, the player of the game, you could say it's Arizona State's kicker because he was being very unclutch, but UCLA bended but didn't break, and the offense clicked. So props to Mike Johnson and whoever was running the offense. I like what I'm seeing there. Now we go out to Utah. I hope we're not hungover. That's going to be a tough one. But tonight I'm going to enjoy this win. Neuheisel gets another, maybe let's just say 2 handfuls of ice cubes on his hot seat. Barely. Not exactly a hot seat like it was a few weeks ago, but still has some. Great job. Great job by this team. And, I'm proud that this team fought through all the adversity and the officiating. But what a win. It's well deserved. Sorry, Cattle Dog RTL, but we were the better team, and now the South has gotten interesting. As I've said before the year, the South, I think, is very open, and it showed tonight. See y'all later, and go Bruins.